torture was a big part of this debate. The talk about torture, about whether or not we should use waterboarding, we should use torture. And 6 out of every 8 Republican candidates believes that you should use torture. And let's listen to Herman Cain, who seems to make up his mind on the spot all the time. This is clip number 1.
Stephen writes, I served on an aircraft carrier during the Vietnam War. I believe that torture is always wrong in all cases. What is your stance on torture?
I believe in following the procedures that have been established by our military. I do not agree with torture, period. However, I will trust the judgment of our military leaders to determine what is torture and what is not torture. That is the critical consideration.
Okay, that's not a period.
No.
When you say however, that's not a period. Period means you're done talking. But when you say period and go however, that's not a period. Okay.
And Herman Cain may not know this, but when we say our military leaders
against waterboarding.
Well, but Commander-in-Chief. Hello. Oh. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'll trust our military leaders. He is the military leader. He is saying out of one side of his mouth that he is for torture and out of the other that he is not. And then when he gets to the specificities...
That's so weird that Herman Cain would do that, though. Say one thing and another thing at the same time.
No.
When has he ever done that except every time he talks?
You have to give him a break. He is just making it up as he goes along. Yeah. And that's, he's decided that's how he's going to do it, and all the power to him. This is Cain talking about the specifics of waterboarding. This is clip 2.
Mr. Cain, of course, you're familiar with the long-running debate we've had about whether waterboarding constitutes torture or is it an enhanced interrogation technique.
I agree that it was an enhanced interrogation technique.
And then you would support it as president. You would return to that policy.
I would return to that policy. I don't see it as torture. I see it as an enhanced interrogation technique.
Congresswoman Bachmann, you're...
Yeah, see, it's an enhanced interrogation technique, folks. That's like calling rape an enhanced mating technique, isn't it?
But lest we not lead you to believe that Herman Cain is the only person who likes waterboarding, just when you need it most, America, you get Michele Bachmann. This is clip number 3 talking about waterboarding.
If I were president, I would be willing to use waterboarding. I think it was very effective. It gained information for our country. And I also would like to say that today, under Barack Obama, he is allowing the ACLU to run the CIA. You need to understand that today, when we interdict a terrorist on the battlefield, we have no jail for them. We have nowhere to take them. We have no CIA interrogation anymore. It is as though we have decided we want to lose in the war on terror under President Obama. That's not my strategy. My strategy will be that the United States will be victorious in the war on terror.
Right. We've decided to lose the war on terror. The linchpin in the war on terror, the whole purpose of the war on terror was to get one man, and they got that one man, and President Obama got that one man. Not good enough for this woman, Michele Bachmann, even with that haircut.
Let me just...
with that haircut, or whatever it is that she did to her hair there that made her scarier than she was somehow the week before. I can't get over the fact that she is that they are going to this argument that the president is soft on terror.
Well, it's a losing argument, I think.
But it's a wrong. Forget the losing. I mean, yes, it's a losing.
And it's only going to play to their base, and that's the problem with these debates. But can I just get back to Herman Cain for a second? He said,
whenever you want, you can go back.
I'm for whatever the military officers say. Well, according to the military field manual, waterboarding is torture, and you don't do it. So according to the military, you don't do that. So, and of course, none of those reporters would say that back to him. According to the Army field manual, waterboarding is torture. Are you against the Army field manual? No one would say that. And so it's just, again, these facts are optional in these debates. The report, and what happens in these debates, too, is the last one with Maria Bartiromo sitting there saying nothing important or accurate, is that is if they say something and the reporter doesn't challenge them, I think the average person at home sitting there going, well, that must be right.
Yeah.
The reporter didn't say anything.
Well, that's true. I mean, Cain, though, was saying in that last exchange, he was saying he would just defer to whatever the military leaders say.
Right.
It would be nice if somebody did say, somebody on that stage, even if it's not one of the moderators, came out and said, well, actually, the military leaders say that waterboarding is torture, and you can't do it. It is illegal.
Nobody said it, and neither did the reporters.
No. And then seeing the currency that you get for being in favor of waterboarding, Congresswoman Bachmann comes out and reiterates that she is in favor of it, gets a more rousing applause. I mean, there might have been more Minnesotan torturers in the audience than there were, backers of Herman Cain. But again, you're talking about applauding torture inside the Republican hall. When you hear a candidate say that they're in favor of torture and you hear Herman Cain defend himself on torture, that you understand that 6 out of 8 of these, with Ron Paul and John Huntsman laying back, 6 out of 8 of these candidates said that they're in favor of torture, which is just a philosophical difference laid bare.